Good evening, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again. And once again, this is not reloading related. This is going to be some welding-ish, some not summer school, but the fall. And for those who, I don't know if I've published it yet, so I probably will publish the welding helmet video before this. But as I go into my fall MIG class, where the summer school session covered 5 different types of welding, gas metal slash MIG, flux core, stick, TIG, what did I leave out? Gas, flux, MIG, TIG, acetylene. So the fall course, not as intense. Whoops, knocking stuff over. Not as intense as the summer. So as I talked about building this plate, I've had plenty of learning at school because every time I go to my booth, somebody has boogered up the welder. And it's usually around the wire feed issues with, I was assigned a booth that should have been gas metal, but it had flux core wire, had to swap out the wire. They had the wrong size wheels, 0.045 versus 0.035. Again, lots of good learning. But one of the things that the instructors emphasize is clean metal. And I've taken this home and I've done wire wheel to it. Well, we have grinders at school. And during summer school and then the first week of fall, the grinders were fine. They're a mix of whatever, variety, name brand. They're all corded. And as of last night, a good example is the grinding wheel. So need to take that out. Grinding wheel. So in my little kit here, if this was a grinding wheel, there was like this much left, so that much was gone on the wheel. So you could barely get the wheel to touch metal. So I had thought about the idea of, I'll bring my own grinder to class. This is big and it's heavy, it's bulky, and it's corded. And I thought, for class, all I need is something small and lightweight, not necessarily this big heavy duty. So I thought about, what were my options? Then, hadn't yet decided, then coupling that with the fact that the way my bench is set up and my tabletop in the booth, and I'll show pictures probably right about now, the way the earth lead, the ground is set up, some idiot welded the tabletop, which is supposed to be removable so you could grind it down from all the spatter. Some idiot welded the table, the metal, 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch tabletop to the actual bench. And then on top of that, they welded another metal plate, 1 inch wide or so, for the lead to clamp on. The earth lead, the ground. And it's in such a location that when I go to weld and I put my elbow down, I'm always hitting it. So I thought, I asked the instructor the other night, hey, can I cut this off and re-weld it and, move it around? And he's like, yeah, I saw that and I didn't like it. So I'm going to go do that next class, next week. But I started to build this kit. And, in the class, there's only one pair of MIG pliers, and I never get them. So somebody else always beats me out to it. So my own pair. Same thing with the brush. There's no shortage of brushes, but the brushes are all boogered up. So you will never see a brush that has a full complement of brushes. So bring in my own. And then I got to thinking that what better place to grind different types of grinding than, at school. So my idea was, all right, I could be doing this cleaning and or grinding to give me a new surface with my own grinder. But I didn't want to bring my corded grinder. So I took the opportunity to start looking around. And here's what came to mind. So, you know I'm a Dewalt fan, as you can see. But you also know I'm a Ryobi fan because I have a number of Ryobi tools, which means I have a number of Ryobi batteries. I actually have more Ryobi batteries than I do Dewalt batteries. And the Ryobi batteries are all one style, whereas the Dewalt batteries, some look like this, some look like this. So I have a little bit of everything, but I only have a couple of Dewalt batteries. So that led me down this particular path. So I thought, well, why not pick up a Ryobi tool? So I went and looked online at our friends at the Orange Box Shop, and I saw they had this cordless Ryobi grinder. It's an older grinder. It's not brushless. It's not paddle. It's a trigger. And it was 59 bucks, 60 bucks. I get a military discount, so that saves in tax. So I'd be paying about 60 bucks. But the problem was, I wouldn't call it a problem, was in order to do cutting, because I'm going to cut on the table for rejiggering my lead, I would prefer to have a cutting guard kit as opposed to the grinding guard that comes with this particular Ryobi. Well, the grinding guard, cutting guard, I guess it's cutting and grinding, it's more robust, and it's toolless, is much more, I mean, it's half the price. So that's 60 bucks, this is 25, so that's 85 bucks. Well, they also had a kit that included both. So I thought, oh, okay, just pick up the kit for 85 bucks, and I'll run with that. So I go to my Home Depot, and then before someone says anything, why didn't you get the Dewalt? Because the Dewalt is 250 bucks, and that's a lot of script. So I go to my Home Depot, and lo and behold, they had a special. So it's a brushless, and it's also a paddle on off, and it includes the upgraded guard kit. So it's not the lower end guard kit. It's a little higher end on the handle, a little nicer on the guard. But there's some other niceties in addition to just this cool green looking handle. This is a toolless grinder to change out your accessories. This one is not toolless. The tool is actually built into the handle. So you pull the wrench out of the handle, you do your thing, kind of like my Dewalt. You know, my Dewalt is not toolless. I have to bust out either a socket or bust out the wrench. This a socket for this because this is too deep for the wrench that comes with this. And then I have to lock it in place, do this by hand, and then boo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. And that's no big deal. I've gotten used to it. I like a corded tool because, especially for the stuff I do at home, a lot of battery operated tools drain very quickly. So I have no idea how quickly or not a grinder goes through a battery. But because I have enough Ryobi batteries, I thought, why not give it a shot? So I go to my Home Depot and I see this $129 version, which is similar in features, paddle, same specs essentially. One's 18 volt versus 20, so maybe this is a little higher end. But this is $249 in tax, so I'd be looking, and I don't know if my military discount applies to DeWalt. So let's assume it does. That's $250, this is $129. It's almost double the price. Do I need to spend double the price for something that I'm going to use in the class? No, I didn't think so. So then I find that it's on clearance, which means another better model is coming soon, for 98 bucks. 98, 249. 98, 249. Lots of extra batteries, 98. Winner, 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 chicken dinner. So, we now have a box to open. We have a Ryobi brushless 18-volt, 4.5-inch angle grinder cutoff tool that includes a cutting guard attachment, that adjustable thing there, a comfort grip auxiliary handle, a grinding wheel, and a cutting wheel. And it's the tool only, no battery. All right, so let's get to opening. Let's see what we got. So I was out the door for less than 98. I was 97 and change after my military discount. So I truly appreciate the Lowe's and Home Depots for acknowledging veterans and giving us a little break. So this is a little nicer handle, a little more comfy grip, a little spongy, rubbery, hollow. All right, what else we got in here? It looks like here's our wheels, and oh, it does have a wrench. So I hope I didn't speak too soon about toolless, because it looked like it was toolless in the store. Oh, and there goes some stuff. Okay, we'll call that propaganda. All right, this looks like the part of the cutting, grinding cover thing. And again, all returnable. So I will not be yeah, it is toolless. Interesting. I'll have to see what that. Okay, that's all that's in the box. So let me get this documentation out of the way for right now. Naturally, something had to hit the ground. At least it didn't go into. This is just all their tools. More information. All right, so in this bag, we have a tool, and in the other particular grinder, the tool mounted in there. So I don't see that. So we'll put a hold on that. We've got a Ryobi cutting wheel and a Ryobi grinding wheel. So maybe I won't use that one first. So the cutting wheel is going to go cut that workbench configuration bullshit that I talked to you about. And let's see what we got here. So I don't know if this is an auxiliary, or it's if they work in conjunction, or if this one rotates all by itself and is used all by itself. So I will bust out the direcciones to see what this one is. This one is plastic, no magnet. This one is a metal magnet. So I'm going to guess that this one is for Sparky Sparks, and this is not for Sparky Spark. So we will look in the directions to see what that's called. All right, so one of the things I liked was the paddle, because when a grinder goes haywire, which is a little scary, because for the Dewalt, that's on and it's going to stay on. If it's flying at me, if it's bouncing around, it's going to stay on until somebody turns it off. So this is an old grinder I've had for many, many years, and I have nothing bad to say about it. But in terms of safety, you know, this is very svelte, fits my hand, very easy to flick the safety or the whatever that's called so that you can power. And if it happens to fly out of my hand and fly towards my face, at least, and we'll find out how quick the brake is, because apparently it has a brake, whereas I'll plug the Dewalt in and you can hear that, and I don't believe the Dewalt has a brake, so we will find out. I believe to lock it is, so that's turning and locking down, pushing that in locks this, and here is the method, at least it worked in the store, of toolless change. So methinks that maybe, do these two align? Yes, they do. So maybe if this is stuck, this is how you unstuck. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But I like this. I like... Okay, did I speak too soon? I like that design, that toolless design. That's kind of cool. You know, so I could be in my booth. I don't have to bust out a tool. Whereas with my... Oh, I obviously forgot something. Attention, pay attention. Pay attention, pay attention. And because of these two nobules, I would say that that lines up. You can't fuck that up. That looks a little better. And that's that. So we're going to pop this battery in, and we're going to see how it breaks. And then we'll probably, and I'll compare it to the... So that's not necessarily fast. I don't know that I would call that a break. Okay. That's not good. Just imagine that happening while I'm grinding. That would suck caca. So obviously I did not tighten that enough. And maybe that's where our little buddy here comes into play in terms of additional tightening. Again, I will read the directions. Right now I'm just being a curious ignoramus. All right, let's see if I can get that to fall off again. I'm also going to try a 4 amp hour battery. Let's see if that sounds any different. So I don't know what the charge of this is. This is fully charged. This is fully charged. So let's see what the sound difference is. I'll have to listen to that back on the recording. I don't know that I heard a difference. So in theory there shouldn't be, especially with them charged about the same. This appears to be quite... what's the phrase I'm looking for? Quite secure. Okay, so I will give Dewalt the win for... yeah, that's... I secured the fuck out of that. I'll give Dewalt the win for ease of use for locking the nut down. Let me move this over here. And see if I can get that started a little. So not a showstopper, just different. But I do actually like this. So I just need to make sure that it stays locked in with that bad boy. So I'm going to say I like that. I likey. I like the fact that I can stand it up on the bench. I cannot do that with my Dewalt. So when I'm in my booth, I have this next to me, and that's locked in. So I'm going to say that's a win. Maybe bust out the directions and see what this Plasto Shield is. Type 1, 4.5 inch. This is the Type 27. Again, don't know what that means right now. I like the fact that this is very adjustable via this this little thumb thing. So depending on where my blade for whatever I'm trying to do, you know, if I want to get down on there and block what's coming up here, that's a little friendlier than what I'd probably have to do for the Dewalt. I've never changed the Dewalt configuration. Honestly, don't know how. Maybe have to take all this stuff out, and then that screw, and maybe there's another screw. Not going to worry about it. I've never had a need. I just stay out of the sparky way. This allows me to, again, to block the sparks depending on, you know, what I'm doing. So this setting would be the equivalent of the Dewalt. Again, because of what I have to get to on that table, this would be a perfect setting, and the sparks all stay on the table. So liking this. And obviously, again, depending on what I'm trying to do, having a handle. Now the big question, the two remaining questions are three remaining questions. What's this for? Where can this tuck in? Is there a cool little place? Again, I think, let me get the batteries out because I don't want to accidentally turn it on. I'm wondering if there's a cool place. Looks like we got oil going. I wonder if there's a cool place that this, you know, like I said, on the cheaper model, it goes into the handle. So there's something to be said for the cheapy model. On this particular one, it doesn't look like this goes in anywhere. So I'm going to say, I don't know. I don't see anything completely obvious in terms of where this tucks in. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything obvious where that tucks in. So that may tuck in right here. So the $64,000 question. Oh, that's a little dirty. Here's my TIG electrode. Let me see. Will it fit? Oh yeah. See, so that's golden. I love that. So it fits my kit, my welding kit. You know, I don't know that I'd want to put something like this right there because Murphy's Law says that would fall out. So I'd probably just dump it on the inside here. It looks like there's some smaller areas, maybe up in there. Maybe let it ride like that. Who knows? I don't know. But let's set this off to the side and see if we can find out what this is and where that handle might go. All right, so we have miscellaneous, write a review, win $1 million. Whole lot of warnings. Where's the pictures? Oh, I see a whole bunch of languages. I see no pictures. I'm a picture person. I grew up with the Playboys. Where's the picture? There's the pictures. All right. So what we've got here is F. F is a wrench. Okay, thank you for that information. G is a guard insert. Okay, I is it's called Fixtech. Is that what that says? Yes, Fixtech, Fixtech nut, that little twisty nut. Okay, and then D is your disc, so that's D is a grinding wheel. H probably cutting wheel. All right, did I leave anything off? E is the side handle. Okay, so we've already done this, so we know that. Wheel guard. Okay, we've already done the moving of the wheel guard. We know what's up with the Fixtech. Okay, so this doesn't have any, you know, let me get a little closer. So let me pull this off for a second. I believe this comes off at some point. And maybe I'm wrong. Is that it? Yes. Okay, so this comes off. There's no way to mount this. So that means these two need to work together. So I'm going to assume that it looks like they fit together. That's not going on. So let's see what we got here, folks. We learn this together. We learn it together. Okay, figure 4. So A is the wheel guard. So I believe this is the wheel guard. B is the guard insert. That is this. And it looks like the guard insert goes this way. So you have this label right here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to say what's the orientation of this bad boy? Looks like the orientation of this is right about like this. Yeah, so let's put this back on. Longer video than it needs to be. This is a puzzle. Yes, this is a puzzle. Okay, it looks like that is where the puzzle needs to begin. Okay, so we got that. So I'm gonna say we got this going on. Okay, so that went in pretty good. So it looks like this goes on. Okay, that's how it goes. I don't know what value that adds. Maybe it's just a guard for, and it looks like the way to take it off is just to do that. I don't know what that value brings. So you don't scratch the black paint? I don't know. But it looks like it's just a, okay. So I'll use it to protect that. All right. No biggie. Or maybe, yeah, I don't know. I would think if I'm cutting stuff, the flames and the plastic, I don't know. I don't know when you'd use that. So if anybody knows why you would use this this wheel guard, what's the advantage of the wheel guard? I don't understand at this moment. So maybe some folks out there in Smarty Smart land know what the advantage. I'm going to move this so that let's do this. That is probably most appropriate. So it would be, you know, that. And it looks like this one doesn't really grab on right there. I mean, this locks on. This one locks on. Maybe that's just a, no. No, there's nothing for that to lock onto. All right, so that's how it works. All right, that problem is solved. Let's go to this problem. All right, what does it say the wrenchy wrench is for? F. F is the wrench. Yep, depress lever to rotate. Depress lever. Fix tech nut. Doesn't talk about the wrench. To tighten, to loosen, spindle lock, spindle lock. Yeah, we know that's the spindle lock. There's not much info about that wrenchy wrench. Wheel guard, guard insert, E, tab. Okay, so, you know, we figured that out. That's the tab. So, I don't see anything about the wrench. Nothing about the wrench. Side handle, moving the handle from side to side. So left side, right side, top. Yeah, nothing about le wrench. So I will jump online to see if there is wrenchy wrench information. So my thought is that wrench is for super tight, as you saw me do. It looks like this is a 5/8 inch 11 thread arbor. So I think the first thing I'll put on there is that cutting wheel. Let me go back to, and I'll probably, let me turn the Dewalt on and see how easy that was to quiet down. All right, so I'm getting the sense that the Dewalt is a lot more powerful than the Ryobi. That's what me thinks. So we will find out. I mean, realistically, one's battery, one's electric. So there's gonna be some difference just in that simple fact all alone. But I think is that gonna be the thumbnail? Yeah, I think so. How about throw some pliers up in there? Maybe a little brushy brush. Maybe a little brushy brush like that. All right, that's it for now. I'll go online. I'm thinking there's nowhere to put this except in the bag, which is what I do with the Dewalt. I put the tools in the bag. So that's it, folks. Later. Hello folks, Reloading Bench back with you once again, and we've got a few things on the bench. We're going to close out how the Ryobi grinder worked for me. And this also came, I believe I've already published the video for the new Furman generator. And this is the last component, because you saw all the cables. This is going to be the ground cable. So I will put some copper ends to each end of this so that it can attach to my copper grounding rods and the actual Furman generator when I do the unboxing, because it's still in the box. So we'll put that on the box with all the other stuff. But as of this is my, I showed you this before, my little welding bag, my tools that I take to the welding class, that previously just had stuff minus the Ryobi. So let's talk about Ryobi. So I brought two batteries with me. I brought the grinding and the cutting wheel that came with the Ryobi, and I had this wire wheel for previous stuff. And obviously with the wire wheel you can't put this particular nut on. You just screw it onto here and tighten it. So I had my wrench with me to do that. But my focus initially was not on the wire wheel. This was end of evening, welding is complete, let's wire wheel the pad. So my first focus, excuse me, was to use the 2 amp hour battery to see how long that lasted. And the picture that I'm going to show right now is the before of the station / booth area. And some idiot welded the top portion, what should be just the plate that sits on top of the table, so you can take it out to the back area, the outside area, and grind it, as opposed to having a grinder in the booth and getting grinding dust over everything. Quite messy. But some idiot welded the table top, the what should be the floating or removable, I think it's 3/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch, probably 1/2 inch top. And then they welded a lead, I guess, a piece of metal, steel, to clamp on the ground. And where they put it was terrible, because when I weld, that's where I put my elbow, and my elbow was constantly hitting the lead or the piece of metal. So I decided it was time for a change. Check with the class instructor. So, you got a problem if I change this? Move it from a 90 degree to a parallel? And he said, no problem. So I brought this to welding class last night, and I think I had the this particular shroud on. Yeah, because you can see the dust. So the first thing I did was try to cut the 3 welds, and let's see if this will turn on. Okay, it does. Last night it would not, and last night it was showing, when I cut the weld, I was not able to cut the 3 welds with this 2 amp battery, because it stopped working as I was cutting. And when I went to check the battery, and then I tried to turn it on again, and it wouldn't turn on. And again, this was last night. And when I checked the battery health, it only gave me 1 bar. So don't know what to say. Overheated, overused, whatever. But I had to put this 4 amp battery on, which had 4 bars to start with, still has 4 bars, to finish the cut, this cut, and then switch the wheel out to do a little bit of grinding on the plate, because as you can see from the plate, well, you won't see it. Maybe in the before picture you can see how spatter filled it was. And again, that's the whole reason for having the plate not welded to the table, is so you can take the plate out into the back of the shop where it's, you know, open air, put it on one of the giant tables, and then grind off all that shit. So some idiot, you know, felt it was necessary to not only weld the top to the table top, the removable 1/2 inch, you know, 12 by 15 or whatever the measurements are, and then the lead for the earth or the ground was welded to that in a shitty position. So you know, in between my talking, I'll show you the before and after pics of my handiwork, and of course I welded it in parallel to the top of the table, as you'll see, and that worked out fine for the rest of the evening. And I decided I would not use my grinder to do this because of the amount of time it would take. So the fact that the grinder, you know, gave me 1 bar and then actually turned off and wouldn't turn on again, but when I switched batteries, you know, no problem. And I don't know if this will sound any less. To me, that sounds less powerful. One more time. Yeah. So 2 bars on this battery is not as nice as 4 bars on this battery, nor would it be expected. So is this a keeper? For the money that I spent and the added flexibility the battery operated version allows me, I'm going to say it's a keeper for my situation. If you do a lot of grinding, doing a battery operated grinder is, I don't want to say stupid, because everybody's needs are different. For my needs, I actually prefer, you know, what I've had to use this grinder for, this old Dewalt cable grinder that doesn't have all the fancy features. Maybe if anything, I upgrade this Dewalt cable version, powered, electric powered, to a paddle version, again, that has power. And maybe I take this back and I swap it out for the Dewalt cable version, because quite frankly, I wasn't impressed with how quickly the battery died on this 2 amp hour for what little bit of cutting I was doing with that weld. I mean, it wasn't heavy duty. And this grinding would have just killed this battery. So message is, you got to have multiple batteries to do the slightest of grinding / cutting. And again, not a bad thing. I liked the flexibility. I liked how easy it is to operate. This, you know, this is dangerous. That's on, and that's on forever until somebody turns it off. This is on for as long as I hold on to it. So, more safe, less long lasting, battery issue, very powerful cable. So maybe I will upgrade this to a cable version, electric cable version, and keep this. Haven't quite decided, but this is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. And that is it for tonight. Later.